Namaste. When we look into the functionality, the role of our senses, normally, generally, each sense contributing something, and when it contributes, mostly it's connecting with other senses. Though individually they do certain role or functionality, but mostly they work together. When I am seeing something, and it's not just about the image and that impact it brings along with other senses, making strong impression, then the sense functioning on its own. When we are able to recognize that, notice that, what each sense contributing on its own, and what and when they function, they work together and bring certain impression. Whatever they bring to our mind, take to our memory, the good effect or ill effect finally depends on what kind of emotion we associate with. If it is pleasant experience, whether it is individual contribution of a particular sense or collective contribution of all these senses or combination of two or three, finally it's about the value I give, the likes and dislikes of that particular impression. I see whether it is pleasant or unpleasant. Based on that, the weightage I give for that impression. That's why we don't remember everything. Certain things, even it might have happened when we were very young, still we remember. If we dig deep our mind, it's not what we remember now. When I think I remember, it is not only that. The fact is, these impressions creating layer after layer of storage within our mind. So when we look into these senses, through this observation, there is a possibility, or you may be experiencing already, you may start to remember the past impressions which normally you don't recall. If you are a regular meditator, you will start to recall those impressions. But it won't come alone, it comes with the emotions you associated with that also. Just recalling, just seeing, just observing those impressions which come through these senses itself will give a big release. If you furthermore able to recognize the root, the source of those impressions, it will give a permanent relief. So right now we are looking into these senses and identifying what they are doing from the sense organ, the physical organ, to the impact it brings, to the connections it makes with other senses, to the impressions it takes to our memory, to make us to see how this mind functions through these senses. So that when we go into further into our mind, then we are able to see the structure of our living being, of our existence. Body to breath to senses to various layers of mind and the observer which observes all these things. That's where we see the reality of our being or of our existence, or that's where we recognize who I am. Sit in a steady upright position. Gently close your eyes. Aware of the steady upright position. Aware that you are sitting effortlessly, centered, upright position. Passive position. Follow the breath, inhalation, exhalation. Continuous observation until it gets into passive state. Bring the attention to your senses. Right now you are hearing something, sense of hearing. Though you are closing the eyes, seeing the absence of light, sense of seeing, sense of smelling, the taste sense and the touch sense. All these senses collectively as well as individually. Contributing varieties of information, experiences, impressions to the mind. Right now, if you smell something, it registers. If you don't smell anything, it registers as well. If you like that, if it is pleasant, the response reaction of your mind is different when you don't like, when it is unpleasant. That's why we are learning to be aware of these likes and dislikes, moving further into a neutral state. Which happens because of detachment. Neither you are looking for pleasant experience or unpleasant experience. Instead, you become an observer of this pleasant and unpleasant experience. We are realizing I am not the doer, experiencer, rather observer. Stay in that observing state.